2022 has been an incredible year for horror anime, and we have been spoiled with a wide range of shows that explore themes ranging from sci-fi horror to some really gruesome tales of murders and spine-chilling mysteries. While some anime, such as Chainsaw Man and Shadow's House, are quite popular, there are also other anime such as Housing Complex C and Exception that make for a great watch. Today we will explore the top 10 finest horror anime of 2022 and tell you all about them. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Berserk: The Golden Age Arc Memorial Edition. Berserk: The Golden Age is a popular movie trilogy, and its new Memorial Edition includes new voice work, visual enhancements, and some story arcs that were missing in the original trilogy. The show was set in a land that was affected by the 100 Years' War, and it follows the story of a lonely swordsman named Guts as he makes new enemies and friends. While Guts had a traumatizing life, he grew up to be a mercenary and caught the eye of the leader of the Band of the Hawk, a mercenary group led by Griffith. Griffith wanted Guts to join his team, and he eventually won a fight against Guts and included him in his team. While they fought various battles together, Griffith and Guts formed a close bond, and their team eventually became the regular army that defended the Kingdom of Midland. While this was Griffith's plan to conquer the kingdom eventually, Guts is unaware of the terrible fate ahead of him and starts questioning his dreams. Berserk is considered one of the best horror anime series, and a lot of the show's success is attributed to the horrifying enemies included in the anime. Guts often fights intimidating demons known as apostles, among some other supernatural enemies. The show was filled with gory scenes that show beheading, stabbing, and various other disturbing acts of violence, and it is also labeled as one of those animes that are not for the faint-hearted. Viewers also praise the show for its CGI and animation effects, and for including parts of the manga that were not included in the movie trilogy. It is also known to be one of the darkest animes, as it explores various themes relating to human nature and the struggle to make morally correct decisions, or to give in to their violent tendencies and succumb to betrayal and revenge. Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man follows the tragic life of a teenager named Denji, who struggles to live a good life while paying off his dead father's debt. He has a pet chainsaw devil named Pochita, and Denji teams up with his devil to kill other devils for money. However, all his earned money ends up with the Yazuka, who eventually betrays Denji and kills him. Despite his untimely death, Pochita uses his powers to bring Denji back to life and bestow devil powers on him. Denji then gains the ability to transform his limbs and other body parts into chainsaws, and he soon comes face to face with a devil hunter named Makima, who views Denji as a danger to society. Makima allows Denji to live on the condition that he would obey all her orders, and Denji agrees to do so with the hopes that he will have a normal life and fulfill his dreams. Chainsaw Man is a psychological horror series filled with supernatural dark elements. It starts with an episode that shows how Denji managed to live even after his death, and many scenes show bloody, gruesome deaths. Fans especially liked this anime because it does not face issues of cosmic horror, but rather delves into topics such as the human psyche and personality. The anime has a lot of layers to it, and it is set in a unique world that catches the audience's attention and makes it very engaging. The animation is good enough for it to be almost photorealistic, and the show also has references to various famous films. Not many anime show gore in such vivid, detailed scenes, and Chainsaw Man is a must-watch for any horror anime fans. Housing Complex C. Housing Complex C was a 4-part miniseries that follows the life of Kimi Shirokado, a young girl who has just moved into Housing Complex C, located in a seaside town named Kurosaki. Kimi's life has been filled with strange incidents, and trouble follows her wherever she goes. As soon as she moves into the housing complex, horrific things start happening around the place, and it appears that an evil entity is stalking the residents of the housing complex and the surrounding island. While Yuri becomes friends with a new girl named Kimi, animal carcasses are found strewn across the island, and the residents become fearful as they associate this with a strange mystery about an incident that took place years ago. The anime touches on Lovecraftian themes of cosmic horror and offers a lot of gore and terror. Housing Complex C is also filled with various twists and turns, and the storyline is quite engaging for an anime with just 4 parts. The anime keeps a steady pace throughout the show and is perfect for a horror binge watch. The anime is filled with various myths and legends that are a breath of fresh air, bringing a lot of substance to the horror genre. It begins on a slow note and eventually builds up a lot of tension for a shocking finale filled with gore in the last episode. Housing Complex C keeps the viewers on edge with its mysterious storylines topped with horror, which keeps the audience guessing and makes for a fun watch. Made in Abyss, the Golden City of the Scorching Sun. Made in Abyss, the Golden City of the Scorching Sun follows the life of Riko as she survives the challenges of Edo Front and gets her hands on a white whistle. This whistle gives her access to the 6th layer of Abyss, also known as the capital of the Unreturned. There were rumors about the ruins of a lost golden city in this place, and Riko decided to explore it with her friends Reg and Nanachi. They soon realize that the place is filled with dangerous landscapes and unknown creatures, and encounter all sorts of challenges in this harsh new environment. They even discover a peculiar village inhabited by strange beings known as Hollows and continue to venture forward on their adventures. Despite facing these challenges, the trio explores the place and discovers the long-lost legacies of those who had descended into this abyss before them. Made in Abyss explores dark themes in a very eerie manner, and it is even more disturbing because the anime revolves around a group of young children who deal with these things. The anime progressively becomes more disturbing as the children constantly face life-threatening obstacles that keep worsening throughout the anime. The characters also deal with their issues and are forced to resolve their conflicts and confront their past while moving through the abyss. While the show has some cute visuals, it takes the viewers for an ominous ride into the abyss as they root for the trio to find the Golden City before something terrifying happens to them. Made in Abyss is packed with exciting adventures along with some good old-fashioned horror, and viewers can undoubtedly expect an emotional roller coaster while watching this anime. Exception. Exception was a sci-fi horror anime released on Netflix in October 2022, and it was based on an original story by Hirotaka Adachi. It is set in a world where humans search the galaxy for newer planets to settle on after being forced to leave Earth. In order to search for these newer planets, they use a 3D biological printer named the Womb to create an exploration team that can explore the galaxy. It also happens that a fatal error or an exception causes one of the crew members to be misprinted. He turns into a deformed monster who threatens the rest of the exploration team, and they decide to print a new Lewis to help the situation. While this allows them to control the situation, it raises questions about humanity and life, as this anime takes us for a ride into the galaxy. Exception is a well-executed show with excellent anime and sound effects, and it promises a lot of gore and gruesome images as we deal with monstrous entities and unknown territories. The anime has various subplots and refreshing story arcs that intrigue the audience and are set in an interesting premise. The anime also introduces us to one of the scariest monsters on screen, and the horror elements also have a psychological component to them, which only adds more interest. It is an anime that causes one to question the meaning of existence, as well as other philosophical ideas, and we highly recommend Exception if you're a fan of sci-fi horror.
You liar! You vile, filthy liar!
Higurashi When They Cry, aka Higurashi no Naku Koroni Sotsu. Higurashi When They Cry follows the life of two best friends, Rika Furude and Satoko Hoju, who live in a village named Hinamizawa. The two of them had spent their entire childhood together and had grown up to be best friends who spent every day of their life together. While they grow up and make memories with each other, things turn around when both Rika and Satoko are presented with life-changing opportunities. While Rika wishes to follow her dreams and leave their village, Satoko is hesitant as she wishes to stay there. The anime also introduces us to Keiichi Meibara, a newcomer who has just moved to this village. While Keiichi learns about the village's history and the annual Watanagashi festival, he realizes that this peaceful village has its secrets and that some murders and disappearances take place before the festival. As the anime proceeds further, Rika is found dead in a shrine, and various story arcs on the show depict an alternate reality in which Rika tries to save herself and her friends from death. Higurashi When They Cry is among the greatest horror animes ever made, and it is filled with cult horror elements ranging from sadistic torture and harmful traditions to even spine-chilling bloody scenes that are filled with gore. The anime also explores themes of curses and diseases that drive one to commit crimes and suffer from paranoia and delusions, and you're definitely in for a wild ride as things take shocking turns as this anime progresses further. Higurashi is a well-executed show with a lot of attention to detail and foreshadowing, and it definitely lives up to its reputation as one of the best horror anime. Hololive Error. Hololive Error is a supernatural anime set in Aogami High School, where everything seems normal at first glance but slowly takes an eerie turn. The anime follows the story of a group of students named Anzu, Ibara, Shirayuki, Natsuno, and Yukihara, as strange things happen around their school and they work together to uncover this mystery of the past. Years ago, Aogami High School collapsed due to unknown circumstances, and many details about the incident remained a mystery to this day. While it was reported that the school was destroyed due to an earthquake, there were no records of this disaster in the Japan Meteorological Agency. It was also found that there were discrepancies in the details of the missing students and teachers. While the number of missing persons did not match the student list, it seems that Aogami High School is home to various ghost stories that are prevalent even in the present day. Hololive Error initially comes across as a wholesome high school anime, but it slowly reveals itself to be much darker. The anime gradually builds suspense as strange things start happening around the school and set an eerie vibe with its animation and special sound effects. It also has a lot of jump scares and shocking turns, and is definitely a must-watch for fans who enjoy horror with a side of suspense. Wushian Shiji, The Infinitors. Wushian Shiji is an ongoing anime that first aired in November 2022, and it is the story of a dedicated white-collar worker whose life takes a turn when he receives a mysterious invitation. The invitation talks about whether he wishes to know the meaning of life, and he soon accepts it and finds himself in an abandoned version of the real world. It turns out that he is one of the many selected people who have to face challenges presented to them by human beings from the future. These contenders then fight various battles, overcome attacks, and eventually become the team leaders who ensure the survival of the human race and lead them into the future. While we don't know the complete story arc yet, Wushian Shiji is a promising watch with various supernatural horror elements. It is also very well animated and visually appealing, and it keeps one on their toes as we keep guessing what comes next. It seems like a thrilling watch and is most definitely an anime that you must look out for. Shadow's House. The second season of Shadow's House was released in September 2022, and it followed the life of Kate and her doll Emilico after they officially started living at the Shadow's House. They are constantly under observation by the elite group known as Star Bearers, which keeps an eye on all the children in the children's wing. The Star Bearers often use evil methods to ensure that the residents are loyal to them, and Kate and Emilico find themselves having a hard time trusting them. In the meantime, the Star Bearers also face troubles when an unknown entity called Master Robe starts trespassing on the children's wing, and strange incidents keep occurring in his presence. While the Star Bearers try to solve this mystery, Kate decides to take matters into her own hands to gain their trust. While she traces the